Let me check. Okay, we have 23. All right. Okay, I think Tan is not here. Okay, let's have some fun with Mentimeter. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can you see?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, Doctor.
So follow instruction, go to www.menti.com and use the code 53544828 now. So this is a polling activity, yeah? Polling or voting activity. So Mentimeter can be used in many ways in cooperative learning. It is a cooperative learning tool. All right, so this is one of the ways that we can use Mentimeter. It's free of charge. Right, and I think you can use Mentimeter in your workplace during meeting, during tutorial and etc. If you are an instructor, or you are a trainer, or you are a superior that you want to have a polling or voting process which is confidential, then you can always use Mentimeter, right? Okay. So go to www.menti.com and then key in the code 53544828. Then you can participate in this activity. To answer the question, how often does your boss contact you after work hours? So we should have 23 participants, 23 participants. So now we have 19. So I hope every one of you can join this activity. So demonstrate how we can use Mentimeter. Okay. So we have 20 now, 3 to go. Before we conclude, who has not participated in this polling? We only have 20, yeah? Okay, you can use your handphone, you can use your laptop and whatever devices which are connected to the internet and able to browse the internet. Just key in the code. Okay, we don't have to register with your name and etc. Right? As simple as possible, just key in the code and answer the question. Okay, so while waiting for another 2, okay, so now we can conclude, right, your answers. So when it is urgent, we have 9 out of 21. Okay, 9 out of 21, almost 50%, right? 45%. 45% says that the boss will contact when it is urgent, right? Even though after work hours. Okay, this is good. When it is urgent, then you will receive calls from your boss. And second highest is 8 votes occasionally. Occasionally, so how occasionally you receive calls from your boss after work hours? Occasionally means how many days? 2 days in a week? Can I have these 8 to answer me? How many days a week you receive call from your boss? Or how many weeks? How many times per week? How many times per month?
I'm envious to whoever answers never.
Okay. I would like to know also never, eh? Okay, so how long? Come on.
I can answer, Doctor.
Yes, Shahrul, yeah.
No, it's Emil.
Yeah, Emil, yes.
So, well, basically, I have 2 bosses. So, it's due to the time difference. So, the time of working hours is twice a week. So, I have already set a schedule. So that's why I chose that one.
Oh, okay. So you have 2 different time zones?
Yeah, because I manage 2 different entities.
Wow, this is too hard for you. because you have two different time zones, so they may wake you up during midnight, you know.
It's already scheduled actually.
Oh, it's pre-scheduled. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, good. All right. Yes, yes. Anyone else? Shahrul, I saw your name just now.
Mine is when it's urgent, no, sir.
Yours event is urgent, eh?
Yeah.
I see. Okay, good. Okay, all the time. All right, all the time means how? Now, Saturday and Sunday. All the time can have these three to share with us your experience all the time. All the time means when you are sleeping, when you just wake up, during Saturday, when you are having ODL class. What do you mean by all the time? Anyone? Don't dare to speak up?
Yes, doctor.
Yes,
Can I
Ibrahim,
answer?
yes. What do you think?
Working with the owner is very hard. So you cannot imagine what is his requirement and when. So we are always on call.
I see. Okay. But on call means this is because of your occupation, but not the boss will contact you, right?
It depends.
Because our question is specifically ask how often your boss contact you after work hours, right?
We can say usually.
I see. Usually means 50%, yeah?
Yes, sometimes under stress, if we have too much requirement, there is a lot of meeting with a lot of clients. There is a requirement from, or in the case of a change of the directors, new director come, all the directors go. So the new one want to know what is the situation, what is the requirement. A lot of questions raised, a lot of presentation,
I see.
and until he become on board, that time again steady state.
I see. Okay. All right. So next we move to this one. One who answered never. Never means you are the boss, right? You are the CEO, so you only contact people. No one contacts you. Am I right? Okay. Can I have some thoughts from the audience or the person who answered never? Would you mind sharing with us? Would you mind speaking up with us why you choose never? Because you are the boss or you are not working?
Not exactly, doctor. Not exactly. I'm the boss, but I mean, I haven't had any phone call from my boss after working hours in like 6 months, 7 months, you could say.
I see. So where are you from? Are you from Malaysia, Indonesia?
I currently live in United Arab Emirates.
Okay. So is this the culture there that
Not
normally
exactly.
boss will not contact you after work hours?
No, not exactly. But I mean, the place I work in, it's pretty straightforward. You've got your shift to do, and then you just go home. And nothing.
Okay. I see. So you have been predetermined to do your work in shifts, so they don't bother you after
Exactly.
work hours. Okay, all right, good. Okay. Okay, so now, okay, next question. I have two questions here. Okay, so you can continue. Okay, this one is a little bit different from the first slide. Okay, this is an open-ended question. So you can type your answers in whichever way you want. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. Very precise. So do you agree that there should be a law to disconnect employers and employees after work hours? Why or why not? So this is another way to express yourself by using Mentimeter, but it is an open-ended question, right? You can try to type yes or no, then just mention your strongest reason why or why not. Then the answer will show on the screen. All right, it is anonymous. anonymous, huh? It's anonymous. We do not know who you are because we do not capture. We do not capture the name of the respondent. All right, you can try and type, and then it will appear. Then we can discuss. Right? Can you try? Yes, good. Okay, there is one answer on the screen. Yes, provided the employee can commit 100% during the working hours. Yes. Okay, we have two answers. Yes, you are quite supportive of this statement. There should be a work and life balance enforced by the company to keep the productivity levels high. Okay, good. All right. Yes, I do, because I do feel like there should be boundaries for the employees to have ample rest to ensure that they can give their best during the work hours. Okay. Yes, I do, because we need boundaries. Okay. Yes, yes. Oh, yes. Huh? Okay, that is a no, 50%. Yes and no, depending on the type of industries. No, because we are in a fast-paced environment as compared to the past. Yeah, I like this answer as well, because you just can't simply disconnect people, right? How are we going to disconnect people? How? You can't stop people from disconnecting. And we are having so rapid pace of work environment now. So we have to respond in a very fast manner. Okay. Yes, we are spending most of the hours at our work hours rather than home. So the employee should discuss anything regards to work at work, not after work. Okay. All right. To allow more family time, agree. Okay. Okay, we'll follow perhaps to the culture to change. All right, good. Okay. Yeah, I think this statement is quite reasonable. Yes, however, it depends on the type of the industry sector, right? For example, you're in the healthcare industry, you're in the manufacturing industry, you can't do this to the employer because the machine is running 24 hours, right? So it may need your expertise to solve certain problems, so you are not able to totally disconnect with your employers, right? In this regard. So we have to, we have to give and take. Of course, I would suggest the employer to let you have some on-call allowance, right? If you are really needed in times of your rest time or at home or after work hours. Okay, so depends on industry. Yes, you are right. Okay, limitation, but culture need to be emphasized. Okay, culture is also very important. Different country, different culture, right? Different company, different culture. Okay, we are going narrow down. Okay, American company, Japanese company, local company, China company, different culture, right? SMEs, different. Okay, so I do not know whether when you say disconnect employers, they surely not agree. I mean, to certain SMEs, where a person have to hold multitask. So they certainly not agree. So how to disconnect? Because you have so many responsibilities. Okay. Keep the employees to rest well. Okay. Don't agree. It's not applicable and not fair. Work benefit. The target is to fulfill the work requirements. Okay, because we are paid, right? We are paid to do our job, right? We are paid to do our job. Yes. So to a certain extent, as I said, give and take, right? Give and take. You can't say I do not know you after work hours. When I see your face, I don't know you. But tomorrow I see your face. Yes, you are my boss. All right. So you can't do that. Depends on the nature of the work urgency level. Yes, yes. As we mentioned, if you are in the emergency department, so how are you able to disconnect, right? If you are a doctor, if you are a nurse, right? If you are a fire brigade member, so how are you going to disconnect, right? Okay, my project is collaborating with 5 different countries. High urgency matters that can jeopardize the company should be settled as soon as. Okay, all right. Not agree. Okay, good. Because every company have different situation. Sometimes employee also need to contact boss after work hours. Yes, yes. Sometimes you want to make decision and you can't make decision based on your own judgment. You still have to consult your boss. So, I mean, the other way around. There is a time that you always contact your boss, right? You always bother your boss until your boss say, "Oh, please, stop. Tomorrow we will make decision." Okay. Yes and no, depend on the work nature. Okay, good. Okay, some managers don't have boundaries. Yes, I believe so. Because they want to settle things fast, right? There are so many firefighting occasions that they have to always fight the fire. Okay. They want the employee to work like them. Of course, if you are the boss, all right, if you are committed, you want your employees to be as committed as you, isn't it? I think that should be the way, right? I mean, this is the positive values of the company. Okay, so we want people like us, right? So when you hire people, when you want to recruit people, I strongly believe that your values should be also used as a benchmark, right? Because when you try to look for people, so those values that can match with your good values, that you will take them in a higher possibility, all right? No, there must be a condition whereby the employee need to commit fully to the 8 hours of working and deliver quality of work as per expected. Yes, according to black and white, yes, documented. 8 hours, you have to be very committed. But again, we are human, we are not machine. So I think, within 8 hours, maybe you only really work how many hours, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think? How many hours? Within 8 hours, you really committed to work.
12 hours.
Yeah?
12.
More than that.
Usually we work more than 8 hours. Every day we have the same problem. Our committed
Wow.
time is 8 hours, but we work around, let's say, we stay in office around 10 hours.
Wow, very dedicated, yeah? Very
It's a workload.
dedicated, and you have organizational citizenship behavior. OCB, yeah? You work more than.
The thing is, we work with some people on site. You cannot leave them working alone without support. So
Yes,
it's
yes,
like
yes. So
he has
that
also job to
so
finish before he go.
I assume the compensation and reward must be very good, right, Tariq?
Not always, frankly speaking. If we talk,
Okay.
the thing is, it is like a kind of a behavior in some technology departments that you have to finish your work. It's because of urgency, uh, because of importantness of the work itself. And as I told you, sometimes we will be working with some field stuff, and those field stuff they need our support from office. It's like if you have a some kind of a work in one side, you cannot leave that guy doing the work without support.
I see, I see. Okay. So, the connection and the link between the bottom level and the middle level and the top level is very crucial in this case. So you have to support each other to make decision. All right, or in a certain area of expertise, they need you to give some suggestions or to give some
Verification, feedback,
yes, feedback,
suggestion,
verification,
decisions,
and
those kind of things.
yes, green lights, give them green lights so that they can
Yes.
perform, so they can execute certain instructions.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. So, is this fun for Mentimeter? Have you ever used this one? So now you know how to use it, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, it's good to see all of you here. All right. Okay, hi. Oh, okay, Dennis, Telfa, Pewa, okay, Samantha, okay, Brahim, Shahru, Emil, Patricia, Kevin, Wiley, Sharanaraj. Okay, more of you. Okay, good. Okay, so eventually, I'm not talking to myself. Yeah? Okay, you see these online things is a high-tech, low-touch, as I mentioned to you, right? Sometimes I'm sharing something with you, then I can't see your face. So, you know, that will not motivate me to speak better, right? I'm looking at the material. I can't see who is actually looking at me, who is listening to me. I don't know. So the touch is very low. So I hope at least you can say something. That will motivate me a lot. Okay, good. All right, so what shall we do next? All right, so this is Mentimeter, right? Mentimeter, so whenever it is required, when you want to have some activities, you can explore Mentimeter after this. Okay, you can use it for free if you register with Mentimeter, and then you can use it for all the activities at your workplace. All right, it's very efficient uh, in such activities that we have just conducted, right? Anonymous, anonymous. Okay, all right. Okay, next, let's have, let me see, okay. Okay, next I would like to bring your attention to the content, of today. Okay, today is 27 November, meeting 3. All right, so basically today we will cover organizational diagnostic models and frameworks. All right, so this is my class material. You can have it. So the topics for today, we will introduce a few models. I think altogether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 models. But in this meeting, specifically, we will discuss 5 models because another model, Berkeley model, I will bring it to the meeting number 4. And you can listen to my pre-recorded lecture in meeting 4 to understand more about Berkeley model of organizational performance and change. Okay, so today we will cover Leavitt's model, Westport 6-box model, Nedler-Tashman, Congruence model, McKinsey's, and Tichy's TPC. These are diagnostic models that you have to understand, as I mentioned from the beginning of my first meeting, all right? We need to fulfill the blueprint of managing strategic transformation in organizations. Okay, so still remember the first step is to understand the triggering events, right? Triggering events normally from the external environment. Of course, you may have internal dynamics, right? Internal dynamics that triggers transformation, right? But like someone resign and go away, right? Your CEO, or maybe you have a labor strike. This is a very important event that triggers transformation internally, isn't it? Because labor strike is within your organization. There may not have any environmental factors that can triggers this one, right? Maybe they were treated unfairly, for example, right? So these group of people group together and launch the labor strike, or you have labor strife, right? And other events, whether internal or external. So this one, you have to identify. So I keep repeating, yeah? Okay, you have to identify. Next, you have to do diagnosis, right? So in your action research, so you do diagnosis by using what? By using fishbone analysis. Oh, that is fishbone. So as I mentioned, fishbone is only a brainstorming tool, right? Where you do it in 5 minutes time. You can do it in 5 minutes time, right? You draw a fishbone and then you just put the reasons, brainstorm, right? Brainstorm. And this brainstorming tool is maybe, all right, maybe this is to solve the problem in quick fixes, quick fix. It is not a long term. Maybe it's a short term fix. All right, short term fix, because you brainstorm or you ask people how to tackle this problem right away. But in managing transformation in organizations, because we want to bring the organization from the current state to the future state, right? Still remember or not? Lewin's model, force field model, right? We want to move the pillar from the green color to the red color, right? Still remember my slide. So basically transformation is to change the way you do things traditionally to a desired state. You want to transform the way you do things. And this requires a certain duration or certain time, okay? From middle term to long term, all right? So with that, we have to diagnose the organization. What's wrong with the organization before we can tackle the problem? So once you have problem or you have symptoms, right? Symptoms, it shows that something is not right in the organization, just like our body. So when you start coughing, it shows that your body is abnormal. Something is not right, right? That triggers your antibody to react. Maybe you have high fever and you have cough and etc. This may caused by your internal organ malfunction or maybe caused by some external virus or bacterial infection, isn't it? So I always tell the students to imagine organization is just like your body, all right? It's just like a body. How you treat your body, you should use a similar approach to treat the organization. Our body, human body, is very complicated. Same applies to the organization, right? Organization is formed by human, various types of human in terms of attitude, behavior, concepts, values, and etc. Right? So as complex as our body. So this diagnosis is similar to when you have problems, okay? You go to see a doctor. So the doctor will perform diagnosis, right? So in the medical approach, okay, in a medical approach, the doctor will perform diagnosis, but in an organizational approach, a diagnostician will perform diagnosis. All right. So in this particular case, you are the diagnostician or the consultant. So you have to know the health index of the organization before you can chart the transformation plan, right? You can start to establish the transformation plan. You want to know what happened to the organization pertaining to this problem. Okay, this is like we have a health screening. Okay, health screening, we have a medical checkup. So the doctor will get some blood samples, right? And also urine samples to see the overall body functioning, right? So to see your cholesterol level, to see your high blood pressure, to see your blood sugar, and etc. So there are so many parameters that has been set as our benchmark when we are examining the health index of our body. Same applies to organization. So where can you get all these settings or parameters? Organization, we don't have these parameters. Can you set like 2.6 index, below 2.6 is okay, above 2.6 you are having a high cholesterol? You can't do that because organization, we have various types of organization, various types of industries, right? But human, basically, from the medical approach, we have a set of predetermined parameters, right? I mean, everyone will follow the same parameters. Okay, more than 2.6, you are having you're above the standard cholesterol, for example. Okay, for blood sugar, what is the index? But for organizations, different organizations may have different index, isn't it? Oil and gas industry, healthcare industry, educational industry, manufacturing industry. Can you apply the same index? You cannot, right? You cannot because the pace is different, because the product is different, because the service is different. In different countries, can you have different same index? In Japan, in Korea, in UAE, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, different countries, different nationals, different culture. Can you say you have to work 10 hours, you have to work 8 hours, this is our index, apply to the whole world? No, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. It depends on the culture, the people mindset, behavior, right? So organization in this context is very much problematic because we have so many types. Although we have so many types of people, right? I did not deny that we have diverse, we have diverse kind of human with different culture, different nationals, different practices, etc. But the body system is similar, right? But organization is very dissimilar. That is why today we want to introduce diagnostic model. We have a few models here. We want to see how these authors make representation. Okay, representation. I would say this representation is in a holistical manner. All right, general for organization. But we have so many models. So when you choose this model, you have to understand the meaning of the model. Okay, look at the model framework carefully and see whether this model is applicable to your organization. Right? Because when we choose model, we have to understand the nature of business of the organization. We have to understand the size of the organization and also the product and service of the organization. Whether this model is suitable or not suitable. If you choose a not suitable model for your organization, then you will have a wrong diagnosis. So just imagine if you have a wrong diagnosis, you will prescribe a wrong intervention, isn't it? All right. So if a doctor is having a wrong diagnosis, he will prescribe a wrong medicine. That will not help the human. That will not help us. So similar applies to organization. If you are the diagnostician, you have to use the correct diagnostic tool or diagnostic model to diagnose the organization performance. So if you get the more accurate diagnosis results, then you will prescribe the more effective intervention, isn't it? Right? So both are having diagnosis, doctors and diagnostician. But when it comes to prescription, one is prescribing medicine, another one is prescribing intervention. But the result is similar. We want positive result. We want to improve organizational effectiveness. We want to improve organizational performance. All right. And from the other hand, when you have problems, right, you want to get well soon, right? So you want to make the system of the body back to normal, right? To fight against the virus, to fight against the bacteria and etc. You want to improve the antibody, right? So both contexts look similar, but in application is dissimilar. All right? Is it clear, ladies and gentlemen? So do you understand why we need organizational diagnosis? Is it clear? Is it okay?
Doctor,
Yeah.
still a little bit confused, but then can catch some of the high concept and stuff. But let's say, for example, these kind of models, right? How do we identify? Let's say we are the analyzer. How do we identify which model is more suitable to use? Let's say we talk about very specific topic like work from home and work from office. How do we know which one to use to determine whether work from home or work from office is better?
Oh, okay. Okay, this model is applied to a problem, right? So when you want to use this model, it is not like you have a situation. It is not a situation that simple, is it? Like work from home or work from office. It is a problem that has triggered the organization to change or to transform. Okay, for example, you have this pandemic. So suddenly you have to change the way you do business, for example. So now you want to start thinking of how you can do your business as usual during this pandemic. Because you are providing service, for example, right? You will have to make communication or contact with people. But now, because of social and physical distancing, so you're not able to do that. So this is a big problem. That may cause your business to drop tremendously, right? Okay, this is a big problem now. So you have identified. Okay, now, before you can transform your business, the idea must come first. Without idea, you don't talk about transformation, ladies and gentlemen. Even though you have the whole set, of managing strategic transformation in organizations, the whole package, I can give it to you. No problem. Step 1, you do what? Step 2, step 3, step 4, you apply Lean's model, you apply a positive model, you apply Carter's model, you have the whole thing. So what? Ladies and gentlemen, so what? Do you have the idea? Let make it very practical. If you present to your boss, boss, I have all this transformation package, okay? Don't worry. I can transform the organization, follow this package. This package has been used by many big organizations and successfully transformed within 12 months. Then your boss will ask one question: what you want to become, right? Okay, now the problem is we can't do business during this pandemic. So what is your idea? Before we start to talk about transformation, what is your idea? So the idea must come first, right? So once you have idea, then use the organizational diagnostic model. Once you got the idea, then you can set your ultimate goal. You can set your vision to achieve after 12 months, all right? I want to become a market leader by using social media, for example. We want to change from brick and mortar shop to an omni-channel business provider, for example. Okay, this is your vision, right? Okay, this idea, whether it's going to buy in by your boss or not. This is the first thing that we have to convince your boss, right? We have to convince our boss. Otherwise, don't talk about transformation. This is the first question you have to ask your boss, whether you accept our idea or not. Is this idea useful or not? Feasible or not? Doable or not? Right? These are the questions that your boss will ask you. So if everything has been settled, okay, this question you have answered. The second question your boss will ask you is, how much budget do you need, right? How much? Tell me how much? 50,000, 100,000? And then followed by many financial questions. What is the return? Okay. How many months? What is your expectation? Okay. How many months we can recoup all these expenses? All right. I think these are the general questions that regarding to P&L, profit and loss. You need to convince your boss first, right? So I'm telling you the process now, which I have experienced. So after this, you have settled. Okay, let's say your boss agreed with your idea. Your boss also agreed with the budget according to your planning. Then you start to do your action research already, right? This is exactly like our action research. So we use model not only to assess a certain situation, but normally we assess the overall functioning of this organization. Okay, we want to have a health screening. We want to know the health index of this organization, just like you want to know your body once in a year. Is the liver okay or not? Is the kidney okay or not? Is the blood okay or not? Is your urine okay or not? If some of the parameters are not okay, it means it will produce abnormalities, right? Isn't it? So same applies to this organization. Before you want to move this organization to the future desirable state, For example, just now we mentioned, right? You want to become the business leader, right? By using omni-channel marketing. Before you can become the leader, you have to diagnose what happened in this organization, using the vision as the ultimate goal, right? So if you want to achieve this vision, okay, now I want to see the alignments of this organization. If I put this vision now on top, I want to see all the bottom elements, all right? All the bottom elements, whether they are in alignment with this vision or not. It's just like your body. If you want to put something on your head now, all right, you are thinking you want to pass your MBA with 4.0 CGPA, right? This is what you have in your mind. But would this be supported by other organs of your body? Are you able to do that or not? Will your eyes, your ears, your hands, your other parts of the bodies can support the vision of you getting 4.0 CGPA and graduated with a first class MBA? So this is a similar example, right? Similar example. So when you put the vision on top of the organization, we want to know, we want to diagnose the functions of the organizations. There are so many departments, there are so many layers, there are so many levels, right? There are so many people in the organization. So how are you going to diagnose whether all these elements are aligned with the vision? This is how we use organizational diagnostic model. Without a model or a framework, we do not know where to start, ladies and gentlemen. We do not know. If I am the boss of a very traditional manufacturer, we all use our hands, our limbs to produce product, all right? And suddenly you say we want to change to fully automated production line. So easy to say, very hard to execute, very hard to get it done, isn't it? So how are we going to get this done? So we have to put this as the vision, right? And then we have to diagnose from top to bottom all the elements of the organization to see whether the elements or the components of the organization can support this vision or not. You want to make it automated, right? 100%. So are all the departments, all the resources can support this vision or not? So we use diagnostic model to diagnose where are the problems or where are the misalignments in the organization that we need a certain amount of change. So when you change, then it will align with the vision and enable you to transform within a stipulated period of time. All right? Is it clear, ladies and gentlemen? Is it okay? So now you know how to use organizational diagnostic model, right? It's not that simple as fishbone analysis, ladies and gentlemen. In actual life, in actual example, we use this to really diagnose the organizational functioning. Okay, let me share the file of my class material to show you. I guess you have seen some of the models. Okay. Let's take one example. Let's take one example to discuss here. Okay, let me share meeting 3, class material. Okay. Okay, downloading. All right. Okay, this one, right? Organizational models, right? Okay, which one you want to discuss? Tell me. What is your question? Which one you want to discuss about model?
McKinsey.
McKinsey, okay, good. So we move to McKinsey, yeah?
Is there one of these, excuse me, doctor, is there one of these models preferable, better than the other?
Oh, there is no preference, right? There is no preference or special condition to mention that this model is better than the other. It depends on which model for which industry. For example, you are using this model for a micro company, right? Small and medium and micro. So you only have 20 people. You only have 20 employees. So which one you want to use? You want to use a very complicated one, a very holistic framework, or you just want to use a simple one, right? And then it also depends on what kind of products you are producing, what kind of services. Of course, in these five models, there are some general one which many organizations, many companies are using. One of this model is McKinsey 7S framework. Right? I think until now, if you browse the website, you just type McKinsey consultant. Okay, McKinsey consultant. They are using McKinsey 7S framework for many multinational companies. Until today, it was created by McKinsey consultants, this 7S framework. And they created this framework based on their experience, ladies and gentlemen. They have done so many consultancies works in many big organizations. And they conclude and summarize that these are the 7 levers that will help an organization to transform, to change. And the levers are style, staff, system, strategy, structure, skills, and shared values. So if you look at this framework, it is a molecule, right? You know molecule? We study physics. So molecule is bond. They have bond with each other, right? So all these 7 levers are bonded with each other with shared value in the middle. Okay, and they are interdependent with each other. So in this case, we want to diagnose this organization by using this framework. The shared values is the heart of the organization. We want to check whether the heart is beating or not, right? Like our body, whether our heart is beating. If our heart is beating, whether the beats are normal or abnormal, right? The pulse, the blood pressure. So in one organization, the heart is shared value according to McKinsey's. So we are talking about this framework. If we switch to another framework, the heart becomes very different, right? If we are talking about Tichy's framework, if we are talking about Levy's framework and other framework, then the component of the heart may be different. But according to McKinsey's, the heart is the shared value. The heart controls the other 6 components according to this representation. Is it clear, ladies and gentlemen? So when you want to choose a model, you have to understand the model thoroughly. What is the heart of the model and what are the other organs of the model? I always imagine all these organizational diagnostic model just like our body, right? You know our body, the heart is the most important organ which pump the blood to circulate the whole body, right? To supply oxygen. So when the heart is stopped, that's it. The whole thing collapses. So in this case, easily can identify that the shared values is the heart. So it controls the other elements. It makes the other elements become balanced and aligned with each other. If one is not functioning well, it will affect the other component, isn't it? Just like our body, if the liver is not functioning well, what do you think? It will affect the other components. We can't work, right? even though with one part of our body is not functioning as normal. So this happens to organizational model. So in this case, McKinsey says you have style, staff, system, strategy, structure, and skills. So all these are important organs in the organization. In order to change the organization or transform the organization, you have to look at all these elements. Okay, first of all, look at the style. What kind of style you are using now? Is your leadership style suitable for your company, suitable for you to achieve your vision? Do you want an authoritarian style, or do you want a transformational style or transactional style or other style of leadership, for example, right? And next, look at the staff. The staff is the people in your organization. So are the staff competent? Do you get the staff you want with the capabilities, with their specialties? Can the staff support the organization in order to produce the right product? Do the staff need training or upskilling, right? So next, go to the system. Do you have systems in an organization? Can the organization work without systems? Do you have the right systems for the organization? You must have the right system for the organization in order to make the organization become effective, right? We don't complicate the organization with system that is not helpful. I know some companies, they want to get the best system, all right? But again, the system does not support the process in the organization or cannot be used 100% by the people in the organization. It's not suitable. So the systems must be able to support the organization, right? This is one of the major organ of the company, right? Next is a strategy. Do you have strategies? You have vision, but do you allocate resource to support the vision? Do you strategize your plan? Do you execute your plan according to your capabilities and resources? This is what we so-called strategy, right? We have to strategize. We can't simply say we want to achieve this and that, and without resources, without planning, without capabilities, without building up our capacity, right? We cannot only provide lip service, but without action. Not only no action. So how can you strategize? The strategy must be there, right? So the vision should guide the strategy. Without destination, you do not know how to drive. Where is your direction? So this is where we need strategy. Next is the structure. So is your structure okay for your organization? Do you need a tall structure or flat structure? Right? What is the reporting span of your organization? One manager to 5 assistant manager? Or you need one general manager to 20 managers? How many employees can you handle as a superior? This is structure, isn't it? Your reporting structure, right? The reporting command and control. Who reports to who? How many departments in the organization? Look at your organizational chart. Is this chart effective for this company? If not effective, how can we change it? Reorganization. We do reorg. We may merge few departments together to make it effective, right? To streamline the processes, to streamline the structure. Okay? And next, skills. What are the skills? Just now we say you want to achieve omni-channel marketing business leader, right? I mean, easy to say, but it's very difficult to get it done, right? So you want to become an omni-channel business marketing business leader. So what are the skills you need? What are the specialties, expertise that you need? What are the resources? What are the people you need? Who are they? So we have to list down, right? All these skills. We have to employ, we have to recruit people, we have to train people, we have to get facilities to facilitate, right? So these are the skills required in order to become the business leader in omni-channel marketing, for example. You get what I mean? So this is how we use McKinsey 7S framework to diagnose an organizational functioning. Okay, and all these six components will come to a shared values. So these shared values is basically the heart of the company that connect all the six levers together. All right. So shared values means the value propositions in the company. Okay, the belief, the culture. All right, the culture, the climate, the work behaviors of the people that can make all the levers, all the six components bond together. All right, we want to stick all this together. We want to have fit and congruent practices in all these six components. So this is how we assess McKinsey 7S framework. Is it okay, ladies and gentlemen? Is it clear? All right. Do you have any questions? Please raise your questions so that I can explain with you. Please share your thoughts. Because I want to let you have a very clear understanding on how to use organizational diagnostic model. Right? So please listen to my pre-recorded lecture. Okay, that is very important for you to understand. Because I have explained during my pre-recorded lecture how you can use all these framework and organizational models.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
If we have the same problem, if we fix the problem and fix the target and use different diagnosis models, the action interventions may be different from model to others.
Yeah. Because different models will address different components, right? But I will say generally, if you look at other models, if you compare, okay, it looks similar. It looks similar. But this one, McKinsey's, is a bit different, right? A bit different because it uses style, staff, system, strategy, structure, skills, and shared values. 7 components. Okay, but others basically are using open system theory. Open system theory means you have input, you have output, and you have throughput. All right, you have throughput. For example, this one. Okay, this is the typical organizational diagnostic model. Just like our body, isn't it? You have input, right? And then you have output, correct or not? And then your body is the throughput. So this is the organization. They have input, they have outputs, and also they have transformation process. Right? Same goes to this model. Yeah, any question?
Yes, doctor. All these models are old models. The newest one, which is PL, is 1992.
Yep.
So since that time, there is no other new model that cope with the change already happened on the business environment.
Okay, for now, I will say there are many new models. If you try to look for organizational diagnostic models in Scholar, Google Scholar or whatever platform, but what we want to learn here is the fundamental. The fundamental means from the beginning until now, how the models can be developed, can be enhanced. What are the fundamentals in the model? Okay, let me show you something in a very fast manner. Okay, If you look at the Leavitt's model, this is the earliest model in 1960s, all right? You look at this model, it's very simple, right? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 components. And this is like a diamond, right? It's like a diamond. You can see the arrow is with double heads, okay? It symbolizes the interdependency of the components with each other. Very simple. Leavitt say in organizations, basically there are only 4 organs. Can you accept that? Are you okay in 1960s? Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
very
yes,
okay, right?
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
1960, where can you find people start to have this conceptualization of organization representation, right? I think 1960, we also do not understand about our body, right? So well, right? Not to mention all these viruses, okay? So this model is good, right? It serves as a fundamental. It starts to give us an impression how to represent organization. Next, come to this model. This model also in 1960s or 70s, I cannot recall. But the conceptualization of the organizational components has been enhanced, isn't it? From a diamond, it became a hot air balloon. It looks like a hot air balloon now, right? How many components it has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it start to have environment. Input and output, they start to realize that actually, I think organization is similar to human body, isn't it? We must have open system theory. Open system means you have input and output. You have the environment that can interrupt the operation of the organization, right? So I think in 1970s or 1960s, Weisbot already introduced that the environment is very crucial. Not only the internal dynamics, right? But however, according to Leavitt say only 4 organs. And Leavitt never say about environment. So there is no environment, right? But Weisbot say, yes, now you have more organs, more components in the organization with environment. Okay? Then here comes the other one, this one, Nettler-Tushman. So this model has been modified and enhanced with input and output. Again, the same theory of open system, but the input consists of more components, right? With environment, resources, and history. That's not what we have. We have only environment. But Nettler-Tushman say, you have to consider resources. You have to look at the history of the company, because the history of the company will affect the practices of the company, right? You have to look at the traditional belief, traditional culture, right? This all will affect the subsequent development of the company, right? It is not easy to change the way you do business traditionally, right? Isn't it? I mean, those successful businesses in 1960s, 1970s, they always have the thinking that they are in the right direction, right? I mean, regardless of the development of technology, they don't believe that. Maybe they don't believe that, right? Correct or not? I mean, now in the year 2021, if you compare with those people in 1960s, 70s, when you talk to them, they still have the old belief, right? They do not know about millennium, about this technology, how you can, do social media marketing. You have this B2C to B2C, B and C. They don't know about all this, right? Right? So history is very important factor, right? I think this is a very new thing that we should learn, right? From this model, right? I think this model has introduced the novelty of the organizational framework. And then it has transformation process, right? The throughput. So it looks like similar. You have 4 organs in the throughput. And then the output. But you look at the output again has been enhanced to organizational output, group output, and individual output, right? So this is the development of the conceptual model of the organization. So next, it comes to McKinsey. So McKinsey sent a signal that this model is a departure from the other models. Can I say that? It looks like this is a more modernized model, right? Because this is from their experience, I think, by using other conceptual models in doing consultancy work in multinational companies, and they come to a conclusion that they summarize the essence of the organizational models in 7S. All right. So they conclude, they say you must have these 7 levers that will guide change and transformation in organization. So this is McKinsey's. Okay. Then what? Then you have this one. Wow, this one is more complicated, right? I think this one is in 1980s, maybe, after, you know, few decades. Again, it looks similar if you look at the content of the organizational framework. But what is new about this framework is it introduces the technical, political, and cultural dimensions. TPC. So techies say that not only the components, right, but the components should be able to address the problems according to the dimensions in the organization. So in one organization, you will have technical, political, and cultural dimension. So whenever you want to introduce change in the organization, you have to tackle these 3 dimensions. If you are not able to tackle these 3 dimensions, the transformation will not be successful. This is something new introduced by Tichy's. They call it Tichy's rope metaphor. Can you see here? Tichy's rope metaphor, by using 3 strands of technical, political, and cultural. Right? So which one is better, ladies and gentlemen? Now we have 5 models. Which one is better? Can you tell me which one is better? So how? Any thoughts from you guys? Are you able to digest what I have mentioned just now? Or you are still in the process of digesting? So for your information, before we come to this online meeting, right? Try to understand the course content. Try to understand the class material that I'm going to introduce. By listening to my pre-recorded lecture, try to understand. So when we come to this online meeting, when I explain, you can understand very well. You can catch it very fast, right? So I hope at least you go through, right? You go through the class material of meeting 3 before the meeting. Then we will able to discuss, right, the content. Two-way communication, yeah, not only one way that I always explain, but you just, you know, listen, right? So if you can discuss with me, then I know your level of understanding, right? Is that okay, ladies and gentlemen? It's not difficult, yeah, it's not difficult organizational diagnostic model, right? I have here example of TPC matrix, which I had explained in my pre-recorded lecture. You can watch and listen to the pre-recorded lecture, right? And also this matrix, all right? I can't do it online because ODL is you have to learn by yourself, and it is online distance learning, right? So within these 2 hours, I can only highlight the essence of the entire course material in meeting 3. And provided you ask questions, then I will explain. If not, then I don't know where to start to explain, right? So when I start to explain from the first slide until the end, then it becomes conventional class, which I will do for the conventional students. So they have to listen to my lecture for 4 hours. I will keep talking, right? But not to the ODL student. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are you okay? Are you okay?
Because
Yes,
it's so theory, and
So,
we maybe we cannot apply by only just refer to the dirty slide. So maybe a bit feel like we don't know what to ask further.
Yes. So that's why I said at least you must go through the slides or listen to my pre-recorded lecture, try to digest, try to understand. So during the 2 hours, this is the time where you ask questions. Then I will clarify. I will provide the answers to clear your doubt, right? To clear your doubt so that you understand it thoroughly before you can use it in your FEEP. Later, your FEEP, you need to use these models. You need to choose one model and use it. Yeah? Yeah, ODL is never easy, I would say, because ODL, you need to have a very high self-initiative to have a very strong learning interest, right? To look for more materials and to complete all the activities in the ODL system. So during our meeting, please ask as many questions as you want. I'm here and ready to listen to you and answer your questions.
For example, like say this kind of models, like if we want to diagnosis for one company, we only choose one model, or we need to maybe use a few.
One model.
One only. Okay.
Initially, one model. When you become expert, all right, when you become expert, you can use few models and combine it together. But my answer to you now is one model, because you are a novice, right? You're still new kid on the block. So please use only one model. So when you become expert, all right, don't stick to one model, because why? When you stick to one model, your mind also be framed by only that particular model. And you may miss some important information as highlighted in McKinsey if you use Tichy's model, right? This is why we want to learn as many models as we can. We will understand the fundamentals of the model, and later on, when you become expert, you can combine the model. But not at this moment. Because you're still new to the model, I want you to use only one. So please choose the most suitable one for your organization when you do your FEEP. Any more questions? Please?
Like say for McKinsey, I don't see the external factor that we can.
Yeah. That's why I said, when you understand the open system theory, even though you use McKinsey, right? You still need to put the environmental factor in, correct or not? Right? Because you have developed to this certain level where you look at the McKinsey framework, like Tewa was mentioning just now. Hey, why there is no environment? Because you already understand, right? Open system theory is very important, right? You have to identify environment, you have to identify external or internal factors, right? That is why I said when you become better and better, you will know. You want to use McKinsey, can, no problem. But you still have to identify external factors, isn't it? Right? So of course, if you want to use this one, okay, if you want to use this one, then you can adapt this one, the whole thing, because the whole thing is there. Do you feel that this framework is very complete? How do you feel?
It's complete. Okay,
Yeah.
we got environment and organization but then for the internal part, I think it's not so detailed.
Yeah, that's why I said you can combine. Maybe you take the input and output, and then in the middle part you want to use McKinsey. Can we do that? Can we do that?
But in the FEP, we don't know how to explain like so complicated things.
Oh, so
In real life, yes, we can. But then for
okay.
like report writing, how?
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Everyone is learning, right? Me, myself, at this age, I am still learning, ladies and gentlemen. I still Google a lot. All right? Be frank to you all. You think I know a lot? No. I'm still learning. All right? So no worries at all. No worries at all. You can combine. All right? If you cannot combine, you do not want to make things complicated, as mentioned, just use this model. Why not? Because this model has been established, has been validated, has been used, has been introduced, right, by Netler and Tushman. So there is no validity issue. You can use this model. You can adopt the whole thing, 100%. No problem at all. And I suggest you all to adopt 100% because you are still new, right? You're still new. Of course, when after you have listened to my lecture this afternoon, then you may get some understanding already. As Peiwa was mentioning, I think the transformation process is quite simple. I don't like it. I want to add some component. Yes, you can. Why not? Maybe in 2021, Peiwa will come out his own framework, right? The organizational diagnostic models of Peiwa, for example. This is something that we want to have for MBA students, right? We are not going to stick to any theoretical model 100%, but we can apply it in a pragmatical manner. It must be pragmatic, right? Practical. So I don't restrict my student to combine few frameworks or to add components. No, it's up to you. But if you think that, oh, for a start is difficult, I'm okay. You can adopt this model, right? The whole model, you just use it for the first time. No problem at all, right? No problem at all. Okay?
Doctor, can we just make assumptions before when we pick one model? And do you think that we can just assume that make some pre-assumptions, and then you go through the when you're explaining the FEEP?
Yes. Sure, you can. Sure. Because my question in the FEEP is quite obvious, quite straightforward. I will let you have the scenario, all right? The scenario, what happened to this organization. So you don't have to pre-assume, right? You don't have to assume. The scenario is there. So just follow the scenario and then pick one model. All right?
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes, Ibrahim.
Can we transfer the external factor or environmental factor to internal by specifying which factor internal item was affected by this external factor? For example, if we have some environmental trigger happen, which we have 7 items in McKinsey. So I can put, or as Manu said, I can put in the assumption that this environmental factor affected this specific, let's say, for example, the system or the staff or the style or something like that. So I can assume that this external environmental factor, which triggered the transformation, affected this item. So I can start or starting from this. So I combine between external factor and I activate the McKinsey framework.
Okay, let me answer your question, Ibrahim. You don't have to assume, actually. You know the problem, isn't it? All right. By looking at the organization, you're very familiar with the organization. I strongly believe you know what is the problem. So you don't have to assume. For example, you know the environmental factor is COVID-19. Straight away put COVID-19 is the environmental factor, right? Which triggers the transformation. If you say COVID-19 has nothing to do with my organization, but internal dynamics, for example. Internal means you have labor strike. You have your CEO resigning, right? Going away. So you have no leader in the organization. So what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Wow, this is a big problem, isn't it? Right? So this will be the factor triggering for transformation or for a change, right? So I can say you can simply identify factors triggers transformation. You know your industry very well, right? I strongly believe you know better than anyone. Just identify and straight away mention the factor. This is the factor. That's all. Don't have to assume, right?
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions before we move to our Kahoot quiz? Now, don't forget our Kahoot quiz, yeah? And we have a presentation. So I think it will drag more than 4. Do we have a class at 5?
No, doctor.
No, so maybe we drag until maybe 4:05, 4:10, right? Any more questions before we move to Kahoot quiz? Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Is that clear? Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, let's move to Kahoot quiz. Let me unshare this one. Okay, let us get the Kahoot quiz. This is meeting 3. Okay. Let me share the screen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us start the quiz now. Okay, there should be 22 participants, yeah? Waiting for one more to join. Okay, no more, yeah? Okay, let's start now. Okay, this is a very straightforward question. The answer is organizational diagnostic models. Huh? Okay, question number 2. The Lewis model consists of the following components except material. Question 3. All right, the congruence model assumes that an organization is an open system. This is a true statement. Okay, question number 4. So if you've gone through my pre-recorded lecture, you should know the answer. The McKinsey 7S framework has 2 different groups of variables, which are hard and soft. Wow, only 6 of you know the answer, yeah? Next question. Organization models provide a basis for interpreting diagnostic information for transformation. True. Okay, Sonia is still leading the scoreboard. Question number 6. When selecting a model of diagnosis, the first point to consider is the extent the model is relevant to the issues. Okay. Okay, Pat is leading now. Question number 7. All right. This is a very simple question. It is true, Lewis model does not address the external environment in bringing change. Question number 8. Again, a very straightforward question. Tichy's framework addresses technical, political, and cultural problems. Question number 9. Yeah, again, this is a true or false question. Leavitt's model is too simple to make any direct causal statements. Yes, it is true. Okay, the final question. Question number 10. The purpose of organization generally refers to the organization's mission. Okay, let's look at the podium for today quiz. Third place, Shahrul, congratulations. Congratulations to Sonia. Second place and the champion goes to Patricia. Congratulations to all for successfully participating in the quiz. Okay. Okay. So now I would like to invite group 3, right? Group 3 to present question number 3. Okay.
All right, can we start, Doctor? All right. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm presenting for Group 3. Next slide. All right, so these are our group members. Next slide. Our agenda today is we're going to discuss what is competitive advantage and who are the competitors and what are the competitive advantage for air parking. Next. So having a competitive advantage refers to the ability to produce goods or services more efficiently and at a lower cost than its competitors. Well, this results in a higher rate of sales or margins for the productive entity. Among the factors that contribute to competitive advantages are marketing, branding, product quality, distribution channels, and many more. There are many places where competitive advantages can be found, such as restaurants located in strategic locations. In other words, it can be easily copied or it can't be easily copied or replicated by other competitors. I pass to my teammate.
According to our study, in China, there are more than 100 companies that providing the share parking spaces, just same business nature as a share parkings. So the below is other examples. And due to the too many competitors, and many have been ceased their end their business and keep on like say new entry means a low entry barrier. Next, please.
So, what is air parking competitive advantage? The air parking management system is a C2B2C, so which is transform the traditional parking industry into the digitalization. Thus, the competitive advantage that we can find is that they can provide multiple channels for parking lots and are embedded into other mega platforms such as Alipay, WeChat Pay, the others online banking portals of China Construction Bank, Ping An Bank, and China Everbright Bank. This make the parking experience far easier and provide more structured data to income stream. The next competitive advantage is that air parking provide efficient operational process. The example is that the traditional on-street parking may have required investment in parking meters or parking inspector. So the smart parking technology can reduce this overhead by automated process and providing targeted enforcement activity. When we look into the information, we show the access to better or faster information than the competition. The real-time data and insight for a local closure, the car park operator or business, the smart parking can provide rich data set that can be used to identify trends, peak times, and other metrics that can be used in forecasting and reporting. With bespoke software, the data and sensor can be integrated into city management system or MI report. Next.
Next, I will continue to present the competitive edge of the As we all know that the air parking has been established in the industry since July 2015, which have 6 years of experience to develop the business model. Therefore, the power of the market penetration is high in this industry. Next, the product service, the process technology are integrated with information technology and automatic flag recognizing system that use both hardware and software based on the product. Following are the new innovation that develop the new approach that represent a leap forward in the area. Using the technology, smart parking allow for the new business model that we were previously feel impossible. Some example which is include the reward program, apps-based payment, and the dynamic parking charge. Another advantage for the air parking is its extensive network. Within the 3 years, company went from being a company to a listed company. This is enough to demonstrate that its long-term viability in the industry. It also provides an incentive for 160 investors to purchase 160 parking space as investment, which will provide 6% annual return for taking over project for the Resta infusion. That's all for our group presentation. Please feel free to ask questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Group 3, for presenting question number 3. Any questions from the audience? So the question is, what is air parking's competitive advantage? So I get to know from your presentation that you were mentioning in China there are more than 100 operators, right? Doing the same business like air parking. So how does air parking can continue, right, to stand in the forefront of all these 100 companies? What is the specialty or capability that they can differentiate themselves from the competitors, or any particular capabilities or that can serve as the competitive advantage of air parking? So which one is the most important one?
I think the more that
Yes.
actually is offer the lower price in payment and competitive. If they offer the competitive price lower compared with, then the user will be approached to their apps and using their apps to order to book the parking space at specific area.
Okay. So you were mentioning the price. The price or the location?
We know for this one is all there are 2 or more apps at one location. Like Guangzhou is have 2 or 3 apps using for access the area.
Okay. One question. From the operator perspective, you want to maintain this business, right? Because you are talking about low entry barrier. Everyone can just imitate the whole thing, and replicate the same application to be part of this business, right? So from the operator perspective, what are the factors that that are crucial to maintain your position in this market? Meaning, I say maintain is you can do business in the long run, long term, right? You have profits, you have profit margins. Because as you know, the cake has been, separated or split to many people. Then you have a very small portion of the cake, right? So in regards to this industry, so what are the factors that you think they are very crucial for me, right? Air parking to always outperform others or to stand in front of others.
Partnership with their parking owners. They should have a good partnership. They give good commission for them, and they make a strategic partnership depend on the location.
Yes, you have just mentioned a very crucial point. Yeah,
Oh,
location and partnership. As you know, property management, you can't change the location, right? So if you get the best location, for example, in the middle of the township, right? So this is the most crowded place during the weekends or during the weekdays. So I think you have preempt this location. That will serve as a competitive advantage, right? So anything other than this one, in order to stay afloat in the market, right? As you mentioned, 100 competitors, it's not like 10 or 20, So what are the other factors?
Your system?
Okay, system. So how the system should work in
Because
order
I think
to,
Doc-
yes.
by time C to B as a business model will their role will be eliminated by time. So I think I suggest to have their own parking lots, their own assets to be direct B2C to elongate their business time.
Okay, I think this is a good idea as well, although this may not be, an immediate solution, or maybe you need to have some time. I think that Ibrahim is talking about vertical integration. I mean, you have to do your own business. I think when you are strong enough, you can buy over, right? Buy over the whole thing, and then to own it yourself, or you establish your own parking lots. Look for new buildings and acquire the whole management of the parking lots, right? Rather than you become
Yes.
a middle person, now you want to directly deal with the customer. I think this is, of course, this is the best. This is the biggest profit margin that you can have, right? You don't have to take commission. You don't have to act as a mediator, but you directly deal with the customers. Okay. How
The
about
application
others?
is also critical. I mean, in terms of accessibility, security, payment, uh, user experience, and back end system analysis or process. So if any problem happen with the application, maybe people will tend to use another one, and then they will get used to another one.
Okay, I agree with you, Tariq. I think system application is one of the thing that we as customers is always having headache, right? When I use this application, it always keep rolling, and I can't get the solution. Then I may want to switch to other
Another one.
providers, right? But again, when I want to go to this location, okay, and this location has been operated by air parking, I have no other option, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? So how
But we
can
would
I?
assume something like if there is more than one parking lot in the place, the competitor will seek to try to make a partnership with the other building owners or the parking lot owners. So maybe in some areas there will be some kind of competition. So the one with the more user easy to use application maybe will get the chance to have a competitive advantage in that view.
Yes, I agree.
Because I have seen this similarly in one of my friends' company. They established these ride share applications, and it was the first in my country. They educate the market, the whole market, and they were not expecting that it will rush to that certain level. And then their application crashed, and someone during their crash time just captured the market. From that time, I think 5 years now, they just out of the game. Although they have started, they were the first to start this kind of business in the market. So how much the easy use of the application, how much it is accessible, reliable, secure, trusted, those kind of things will help.
Yes, yes. Okay, Tariq, agree with you. So I think in this case, in my opinion, my personal opinion is, if you're talking about software capability, applications effectiveness, I think this is a general, general index that all the competitors are going for it. We are going for zero breakdown, we will provide 100% effectiveness. But in terms of physical parking lots, sometimes I look at this case in another perspective. Is like once you are able to get partnership, as mentioned by I think Ibrahim, if not mistaken just now, partnership with a location which is it's a very hot location, right? Many people are going to that particular location. Okay, and the parking lots are very limited. There are very congested place. Then I think this is a kind of first mover advantage, right? So if you are the number one to preempt this area, right, to capture this area, then you have a certain advantage, right? Can I say this? You have a certain advantage in order to create an install base for customers. Right, even though the competitors you have 100, right, but if the property management has signed an agreement with you, okay, to a certain period of time, then you still have the advantage. Can we say that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Actually, I
Doctor,
have
agree with
highlighted
that.
this point also.
I think because parking is the first company that provide this kind of service, that's made he be able to secure the contract with most of the lot owner and properties management. Until now, that's why he can still continue the contract and be able to survive, even though there are 100 competitors there.
Yeah.
Yes, but as I highlighted, those contracts will have some kind of end terms, right? So if someone come and say that, okay, I'm gonna offer you more money, more percent, gonna do this and that for you, maybe next year they will not renew the contract with Air Parking, and then they will renew the contract with the other one. They'll sign a contract with the other competitor. So those kind of partnership you need to manage in a way that you make sure those alliance will be always in your back, supporting you, rather than creating some problems with them.
Yes, 100% agreed with Tariq, right? I think in this case, the partnership terms and conditions, the alliance, it has to be a very firm, right? Very firm mutual agreement and etc. So that any other competitors cannot enter the partnership within these two parties, right?
I think the complexity of the fact that you have your building management and then you have the individual parking lot owners makes it difficult for people to switch as well, right? Because it cannot be a single party's decision. So if a building management say, yeah, the other one is more attractive, but then the the parking lot owners are still bound for the old contract, right? And then like what you said, the first mover advantage, the more parking you have, the more likely that people to go with you, because you know people will be searching for on that app first rather than the second app. Unlike ride sharing, where a single driver can actually run 2 or 3 apps if they want.
Yes,
But
exactly.
that is also an option, yeah, Shahrul. It could be in a state of C to B to C. It could be some kind of a B to B to C, where the building owners themselves or this kind of a company who is managing the parking lot, they can install their systems and integrate their system with multiple parking applications.
Yeah,
So in
I
that
agree,
case, they will make more money.
but I think we established that that will be a B2B2C, and the main reason why air parking exists was because they are capitalizing on the individual parking at residents, right? Residential areas. They're not focusing on mall parking, which is already been operated by a business. It is utilizing free resources or available resources, individual resources for air parking.
But those individual resources, although they are individual resources, still they are under an umbrella of a kind of a management system, right?
Yeah, and I believe those are not the parking areas that is under air parking.
So, do you think that those company like air parking and similar kind of business, they deal directly with the customers, the owners of the parking slot inside the building?
Yeah, my thought is that this is basically like parkings in condominiums, parking in individual properties, right? This is not parking in malls or parking in office building, because
That's
those
fine.
will probably be
How
managed
they go?
centrally.
How they go and park the car inside if they don't have an agreement with the building management system? Who's running the building?
That's why you need the building management to allow you in access.
Correct. So in that case, they somehow they have a partnership maybe with that company, which is representing an intermediate point between the consumers, the individual parking owners, and the business itself, the air parking. So that company will have a privilege that to make like suggestion, even if it is a kind of a voting kind of system or decision making process. At the end, at some point, they could have somebody can come and offer them a better chance. Why not? That's always a kind of a risk. So they need to be very careful about the relationship with their alliance. That's one point. They need their app to be a very, let's say, easy to use as much as possible, and more from user experience perspective, it should be better than others. And in that case, you will somehow survive. I can see it also like the food industry. It's the same like restaurant. So one app always in one country will be like more preferable. You have Banda, I think you have Grab food or something. But most of the time, people, although they know that this restaurant can be accessible through these different apps, they prefer one app because it is easy to use. They have more spread. They have more restaurants under their umbrella.
Yeah, yes. Okay. So I think from Tariq and Shahrul, we learned something from them as well. It very much depends on the contract and agreement, how you establish the partnership with the property management. And also, I think the owner, of course, it has they have advantages because they own the building, and as mentioned by Tariq, they can look for other partners, or they may want to establish their own apps in dealing with all these parking lots. If they have resources, they have manpower, to do like air parking. All right, because they are the owners, right? They are the owners because you own the house and you want to rent you want to rent to anyone. That is up to you, right? I mean, at the end of the day, right? So I think there are many criteria that will decide whether you are able to position yourself to always become the leader in this business. All right. Okay. So, any other questions regarding?
Yes, doctor,
Yes.
I
Yes.
have questions. Okay. We know that transformations come from we transform because we need some changes because it's not going to work anymore, right? So we probably transform something like B2C to what we have, let's say, C2B to C. But then I noticed that just now Ibrahim mentioned that maybe during the company's running, we can try also go back to B2C. So do you think that one is considered as a good transformation? Because it seems like we are moving backward again.
Okay. Just my opinion. I think many of you have your own thoughts also. I think you can discuss about this topic. It's very interesting. Okay. Actually, from this model to B2C, of course, you are telling us that maybe we go backward, right? This typical business model. But somehow, to a certain extent, when you own a land, all right, you are the owner or owner of the building. Okay, when you see there is an opportunity, right, for you to grab, right, for you to grab and replicate the whole thing, then you can hire someone to do it for you. All right, but the profit margin that you can get, all right, from the same kind of business is higher than the current one. I think everyone will prefer to do that, right? Because you have the ownership. You have the ownership. The whole building, for example, the whole building is you yourself. Right, so it's not a matter of going backward or forward. I would say whichever model can brings you more profit margin, and can bring you a position in the market. I think we will adopt that particular model. I mean, of course, this is not applicable to any other context, but in this particular air parking context, right? How about others, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think? Any one of you?
Well, looking at that, Doctor, and relating to what Tariq shared, right? If they don't do it, as he said, somebody else can easily come in and replicate, right? So that they need to have that base to make sure that it's very difficult for people to replicate.
Yes, they have to establish a proprietary capability to stop people, from coming in. That is why
maybe they can add products also or services into these things, make it more attractive. Now they started with parking. What about washing the car or doing some kind of a maintenance for car on that parking plot? If they want to change the oil, for example, use some kind of devices to change the oil without making the area not clean. So maybe growing, moving forward and adding things together, building the blocks together, maybe could be could make the business more attractive and could make the business also difficult to replicate.
Yeah, I think this is another point of providing values proposition, additional values proposition to the customers, additional services to prevent the defection of customers, to make the customers cannot defect to any other service providers. I think not only in this particular context that we are facing this kind of issues, but you can see in the handphone industry, right? I think recently Samsung has just introduced the Z series, right? The flip and the fold, right? The flip and the fold. So can we say they are going back to the traditional type of handphone? Can we say that? I mean the flip handphone, the first one I saw is from Motorola. I think that was back in 1990s, if not mistaken, right? I think some of you may be of my age, you know, the Motorola flip one. But now Samsung is it going back to the traditional phone by introducing Z series flip and fold? What do you think?
I think yes.
So why they do that?
Personal opinion.
I read an article from LinkedIn previously. So one of the journalists from Bloomberg said that it's actually because of the demand of the people. When they first invent iPhones, they said we are giving you a large screen. you know, the first iPhone, it was so small, but they say it's a large screen. And then people keep expanding to iPhone. I think we can see Apple as the main, trendsetter lah. Then they make iPhone 5, it's getting longer. They create 6, it's getting bigger. And then now we have the Plus and Max series. So the phones is getting bigger because of the people need. They want to see more contents. Then since we cannot make an iPad size phones, they make it foldable. So it's following the trend. So saying that it comes back, it's not because of the nostalgic things. Maybe the Motorola, you know, they have the new feature. The feature is the old school style, but they create a new one that is touchscreen now. That one is because of nostalgic things. But for the Samsung, I think they are following the needs of the people where we need to read more contents.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I read based on that journals.
Yeah, I think from here we understand that in order to stay alive, right? To stay alive, sometimes we have to forgo our values, you know. Like Kelvin was mentioning, you know, at first Apple is so proud of their phone, right? You know, 4-inch, they always say this is the phone that is very, very handy, you know, very handy, you know, this is the screen that I can provide. And then they have a button, isn't it? I think this is the first phone, Apple, that they introduced the, can we say the stupid button? Because whenever you press this button, it will go back to the original, isn't it? Right? But now you don't see this button anymore, right? And their screen is getting bigger and bigger. So in order to stay alive in the market, I think sometimes you have to let go, you know, something and just have to suit to the demand of the market. Yeah, Tariq, yes. Anything you want to
Yes,
mention?
doctor.
Yes.
Can we classify this also as part of the user experience as well? Because now they know that the users need bigger size of the screen, but those bigger size of the screen cannot fit in their pockets, and maybe this is why they created that kind of flip device, as mentioned by Kevin, and they as per the article.
Yeah,
So
how
is it
about
also something related to the customer experience? We can say.
the others as consumers? Do you think this Samsung Z series is going to catch your heart?
Personally, for me, uh, I prefer the A series or the S series. I'm still used to those two kind of series. I didn't try that yet, and I'm not also watching a lot in the mobile. So maybe a younger guy can give better answer for this.
Yeah. So is this a good move by Samsung?
For the long terms, I believe yes, because like with people consuming more informations, they want larger screen. So this is a solutions, but until they can remove the defects, I think it's more of a prototype right now, like testing the water. Because you know when you fold the phone and you open it back, you can see the crease, like a book, like you can see the fold. So that part is like concerning, and even the first fold they have a lot of broken screen, right? So people are reluctant to buy. Like this is something that is still in a trial phase, so people don't dare to buy until they are sure that it is final products. So for future, yes, but for right now, unless you are too rich that you want to buy a product that is keep getting broken, I don't think so. My personal opinion, doctor.
Doctor, I want to add a point here, just based on this product. I think moving back to flip phone is really moving back. I think in a sense you might capture some market values, but I think we need to move into a blue oceans, right? I think the best way to do is probably maybe remove the screen as the next level would be a thing, right? It's something
Yes.
new, and then you
Yes.
don't really need to put anywhere, then you can still use a phone. I think flip phone is still moving backward.
Yeah, yeah, I got your point. Yeah, I got your point. So it depends on how you look at it, right? Because I think the operators of the handphone, they don't want to become Nokia, right? So they are thinking of something, you know, something new, innovative. Now, whether it's going backward, going forward, I think sometimes to a certain extent they don't care as long as they can capture the market, isn't it? right?
I think, Doctor, it's just a case of you of having a technology and not knowing what to do with it.
Yeah.
They come up with a flip screen and then they don't know what to do with it. So let's just make a phone and say that you have big screen.
And
Let's
then
sell you a premium price to cover your costs.
yeah, and then just now Kevin was saying that when you fold, you can see a line. So I'm not sure whether you can see a line. I thought this screen is very smooth, right?
It's there. It's not that obvious, but still, for OCD people, it'll be bothering them.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this is just a discussion, because since Dennis has brought out the moving to a traditional method, moving to the backward method in this current situation. So sometimes it depends on how we look at the product, the preferences by the customers. All right. Okay, thank you, Group 3. Thank you. Okay, so now is 4:15. So before we end, do you have any questions regarding MSTO? I'm okay to spend additional time with you all if you don't mind. All right. If you have class at 5, then we should end now. Okay. If you don't have any questions, that is okay. Any questions? All right. So no questions. And next meeting 4. Please go through the meeting 4 material, and then I would like to invite, of course, Group 4 to present. I think next meeting there is no presentation for question number 4 because I would like you to do an exercise, okay, on a Berkeley model. All right, Berkeley model. Please go through meeting 4 class material. Okay, then I think there is a question. To do an exercise. All right. Okay. So please. Yeah.
Doctor, sorry.
Yeah.
So that assignment, right? Can we use the previous organization because you're asking about use your own current organization, right?
You can use a previous organization, no problem.
So okay,
no problem. Just take.
It's
one
confidential, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So just simulate and assume. All right.
Yep.
By using BL model, BL model. So
yes.
According to groups, then we will pick 1 or 2 to present the model. All right. Exactly as the sample showed in the ODL system. I have a sample for you all, right? PDF copy, right, with the flow chart and all the negative and positive facts, right? Okay.
So is it individual or a group project?
Group.
Exercise. Group.
Group.
So one company for all.
You choose one only among your members.
Okay.
Choose one only. All right. Okay, guys. So I shall see you in meeting 4. Okay, please prepare for BL model presentation. Okay, we will discuss about BL model. That is the most popular model for organizational diagnostic model. Okay, so until then, see you in meeting 4. Please stay safe and have a great weekend. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,
Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.